mountain's a bit of a stretch. It's really sort of a granite outcropping in the midst of the Piedmont area, leading up to the Appalachian Mountains. But it's a good name because it really does. It's the only thing even closely resembling a mountain in that area, and it's some great hiking spots, which my father took advantage of many years, not just from his home in Washington Grove, but even from Fort Detrick and other places. And so to get up to the top, you have to either step over or around or on top of at least a few rocks, if not several dozen. And to get to a place where you can view the valley below, you have to pretty much jump over, scramble, straddle, or shuffle your body over many more. So as I got up to my viewing perch, I guess it was only natural that I thought, well, my father is kind of like a rock. Strong, solid, not given to crumbling or getting bent out of shape. Somebody you can really depend on. My father was a rock of stability for our family. But then I thought, well, yeah, it's a good start, but I don't know if that's really the metaphor we're looking for, because a rock's also sort of hard, unforgiving, and impersonal, and that didn't really characterize my father. So I thought, well, what would be a good metaphor? Then I looked down the valley and the Potomac River winding through it. I thought, there you go, a river. That's strong, but it's also moving. It's dynamic. It's bringing resources to lots of places, which my father did, giving resources to a lot of people. Not to mention he paddled down many a river in his age. So I thought that was appropriate, but then I thought, yeah, but a river is always moving away, like leaving. And I thought, if anything, my father was known for just his stability and the fact that he stayed in one place for 46 years, unlike most of the rest of us around the world. So I thought a river, you know, it's one thing to paddle down rivers, it's another thing to actually be a river. That didn't really characterize him either. So I thought, what about a tree? A tree, like, you know, stays in one place. Not to mention it has deep roots, it bears much fruit, it provides shade for many people. You know, Psalm 1 says, blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, he's like a tree planted by streams of water, yielding its fruit in season, whose leaf does not wither. Whatever he does prospers. And I thought that would characterize my dad well. But then I thought, yeah, but a tree, you know, is something about the delicate limbs reaching to heaven, or the thin, translucent leaves blowing in the wind. Just didn't really capture him. I mean, he's not really delicate. He loved steak. I mean, what's delicate about that, you know? Translucent, not really. He was kind of a private guy. Blowing in the wind, well, Bob Dylan, he was not. Just didn't do it for me. So I decided, well, this could be one of those lifelong, you know, searches. This could take months, maybe years, to find the metaphor. So I decided that was, you know, enough work for one day, and I started back down the trail until it dawned on me. The metaphor had been there the whole time, kind of like my father. The metaphor had defined my little journey that day, kind of like my father's legacy and heritage had defined so much of my life. The metaphor was the very ground I was walking on, kind of like my father. The metaphor was the mountain itself, always there, always available, never moving, unassuming, quiet, reserved. But when you get up down the mountain and take a look back, massive, mighty, towering, grand, a living testament to the power and presence of the Creator. Maybe that's why my father gravitated so often to mountains. In his childhood years, we'd hear to Bald Mountain, where the family had a summer retreat in summers. Later on, down south in the Poconos, and even further later on when we were kids, at Capon Mountain in West Virginia, which many here remember, and of course Little Sugarloaf Mountain in, near A mountain is a living embodiment of the natural history of that region, much like my father was a living embodiment of his Scottish immigrant Connecticut heritage. It went with him wherever he went, no matter how far he traveled. A mountain's a place where you build a safe and secure home. How many of us built, if not homes, at least summer cottages, as it were, on this mountain here of Uncle Gary? A mountain is a place of resources: wood for fuel, game for hunting, wild plants for eating, etc. How many of us benefited from the resources that were on this mountain, my father? And maybe more than anything else, a mountain is a place of elevation where you can get a better perspective, a view, an outlook, in some cases an epiphany, maybe even transfiguration. Raise your hand if you got a better view from this mountain called Uncle Gary. Right here. Yeah, I think so. Well, the good thing about mountains is they don't go away. Humans die, but the legacy and the faith and the testament of this mountain will carry on through for many years. I think we will continue to be blessed by, to benefit from, to gain perspective from the testament of this mount here that we are bearing today. And as we do, between the Scottish thrift, which carries on, as you know, through the family, the Connecticut wisdom, the immigrant pioneering spirit, I hope you'll also hear the voice of my dad, who always was very aware of the limitations of his own wisdom and his own faith, calling out to us and saying, "Come, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, that he may teach us his ways, that we may walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth instruction, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. He shall judge between many peoples, shall arbitrate between strong nations far away. They shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more. They shall sit under their own vines and under their own fig trees, and no one shall make them afraid.